We are now joined by Professor Pervez Amirali Hoodbhoy. He is Professor of Nuclear and High Energy Physics at the School of Science and Engineering in Lahore and speaker at this year's St. Gallen Symposium. Professor Hoodbhoy, thank you very much for granting us some of your time. Your session at this year's St. Gallen Symposium was entitled "The Neglected Risks of Global Politics, Dealing with the Nuclear Threat." Do you see an arms race developing in South Asia, and what implications will this have on the economic performance of this region?
The arms race is not new. It's been going on ever since 1998, when India tested and then Pakistan responded. It was thought at that time, it was advertised that the two countries would not need to spend so much money because nuclear weapons offer the ultimate defense, and so we wouldn't need to spend so much on tanks and aircraft and ships and so forth. Well, all that turned out to be completely wrong. The fact is that there's been an arms race there. Both countries are making as many nuclear warheads as they possibly can. Both countries are developing missiles, radars, measures, countermeasures, etc. It just keeps going on. And in particular, missiles are being tested every so often. India just tested the Agni 5 with a range of 5,000 kilometers. And Pakistan responded 2 days later with its missile, which is of course not so long range, but well, the missile race goes on.
Do you consider the International Atomic Energy Agency to be capable of taking the right measures in order to ensure that nuclear power is only used for civil purposes?
In Pakistan, the military program is outside of the purview of the IAEA. That's because Pakistan and India are not members of the NPT. On the matter of reactors and whether nuclear fuel can be diverted, stolen from reactors, well, probably the IAEA is doing a good enough job because we have not heard any news to the contrary. And so, yes, nuclear power can be monitored in terms of material being possibly taken out. But the reason that several countries, Iran being amongst them, want nuclear power is because it gives you that technical capability for dealing with radioactive materials and for exploring such things as fission, whether under controlled circumstances or otherwise.
Can you imagine a world without nuclear power?
I feel ambivalent towards nuclear power because given what global warming can do to our planet, and given that nuclear power does have potential in creating a non-CO2 emitting source, I don't feel very strongly on that. I do feel very strongly on nuclear weapons. Now, if instead of fission we had fusion, then I would have no reservations about nuclear power as the way forward for the entire planet. Nuclear fusion is a possibility. It should have been ready 30 years ago. It still hasn't come about, but that doesn't mean it won't come about in the next 30 years. If it does, that's the way.
In your session, you state that the Islamic world is disengaged from science and the process of creating new knowledge. Why is this the case?
If you just look to see what new inventions, what new ideas have been produced around the world, the Islamic world has almost no part to play today. And I find that extremely sad because, after all, genetically, the world's people are all the same. And once upon a time, it was absolutely true that Muslims did very, very well. Something's gone wrong, and we have to find out why.
Thank you very much, Professor Hoodbhoy. Enjoy your stay at the St. Gallen Symposium, and thank you for your statements.
Thank you.